So I think it's more than safe to say that the last week has been a difficult one for not only players of the Division 2, but the team over at the game as well. Now, yesterday they did give us an update, and we did receive some more information this morning, so I wanted to take a few minutes, go over what the game has said, what we can hope to see over the next few weeks, and more importantly, take a few minutes and answer some of the questions you've sent the channel. What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And really quick, as we start this thing off, I want to do a follow-up to a video I put out yesterday where I was talking about things I'm working on in the game now, even though we're having these issues. And I talked about farming Countdown. And many of you reached out asking, how do I even get to Countdown? Because when you hover over it on the map, the game crashes. That happens to me as well, but that's why I am using matchmaking. I open up my map, I scroll over to matchmaking, choose Countdown, pick my difficulty. And within a minute, I am joined up with a group, so it is definitely working, but that is the only way to access this game mode without hovering over the map, which again will cause your game to crash. Now, another question you had was, if you're unable to hover over Countdown on the map without the game crashing, how can you actually choose your targeted loot? And the answer is simple. This is a friendly reminder that when Countdown begins, you can open up your map, push down on the directional pad, pick your targeted loot, and change it anytime during your gameplay. With that being said, let's go over what the game said this morning, and chances are if you tried to log in, you were met with an error message. That is because there is an emergency maintenance going on in the game for about 3 hours. Now, they did talk about the things that are going to be fixed, and you can see here they list them as follows. They fixed the blank screens and empty menu tabs, fixed multiple error messages, fixed the issue that affected world difficulty and global directives, which I know is a pain for a lot of you out there. And keep in mind, when I say a lot of you out there, everyone was affected by that one. They fixed the inability to make seasonal in-game purchases, fixed the issue that affected control point reset, fixed the issue that caused the game to crash when interacting with the pilot at the Boo in Washington, D.C., fixed the issue that caused the game to crash when hovering over the countdown icon on the world map. So again, hopefully those those workarounds, I mentioned before, you no longer need. Now, the next one, they say they partially fixed the game crashes that occurred due to opening the map or traveling from New York back to Washington, D.C. More fixes for the issues are planned for TU17, fixed other instances associated with the technical issues that caused the game to crash. Finally, at the bottom of the page, they say known issues. Traveling from New York back to DC can still cause the game to crash. These are the recommended workarounds. Start a countdown game, disable global directives, join another agent/group of agents in Washington, DC, speak to the pilot at Haven. Now, at this point, and this is why I wanted to wait for this video, we're going to jump right into the game. It is now post-patch, and we are going to see what is fixed, what is still not working. At least for me in my gameplay, I had a lot of these issues that were mentioned. The game crashed for me constantly when I was trying to use the map, so we're going to try those things out. Now, I play on Xbox Series X, so please let me know in the comments section if you are still dealing with these issues and what you are encountering in your gameplay. So the first thing I want to try, this is something I know that happened to a lot of you out there. You couldn't even go to the New York part of the map or hover over Countdown or anything like that without it crashing. So right now that seems to be working. The Anderson mission is there as well, which is great. So right now everything looks good. Now the next thing we're going to check is to see if we can change our global difficulty. That seems to be working as well. Obviously, I will try to change it. I just want to move across the map a bunch, make sure nothing is crashing. I know if you got close to DZ East, that was an issue as well. Once again, we're back at Countdown. Everything looks good. There haven't been any crashing issues yet. Let's change our difficulty. You can see we can switch it here. And once again, to be clear, I am playing on Xbox Series X, but all of the things I'm showing you I couldn't do before, so now I'm able to. So it does seem that we are back in a good place. We can finally jump back into the game. But if you happen to be on another platform and you are still dealing with these issues, please let me know in the comments section down below. At this point, the only workarounds we have are the ones I mentioned earlier in the video. You know, you can try going to matchmaking to get into Countdown or the summit, things like that. Hopefully that will work. But to be honest with you, I really hope that this patch has fixed it for most of you out there. And if not, let me know what's going on. Now at this point, all I'm going to do is check pretty much everything that I could not do before and verify that it is working now. And for me, I'm really glad that they came out with this emergency maintenance today. We still have no idea when Season 11 is actually going to drop. Because as I mentioned in yesterday's video, this issue was much bigger than any of us knew about. Really quick, you can see on the screen, I'm scrolling through every Dark Zone. I know that was an issue for a lot of you before. We're going to load into the Anderson mission just to make sure we can fast travel properly. But getting back to what I was saying, this was a really big deal for the game, and I'm really happy that we are back where we were a week ago as far as the delays go and all of that stuff. Look, we're all tired of unfortunately hearing it. But one thing you've heard me say multiple times at this channel is that, look, I hate that things get delayed. It sucks. There's no two ways around that. But I would much rather something be ready for launch before it comes out. We've seen what happens otherwise, and in my opinion, I'd rather they take their time. And look, we've waited this long, and I'd rather wait a little bit longer for everything to be good to go right out of the gate. One final thing I'd like to leave you with is a message that Morten Ryberg put out this morning, and he says today's maintenance is about getting the game back to the state it was before Season 10 ended. That is step one towards getting Season 11 to you all. We will share the Season 11 date as soon as we can. The other thing I'd like to mention really quick is I received a lot of messages from you over the last few days, and this is something I mentioned in yesterday's video, but a lot of you were asking, am I done covering The Division because I'm starting to cover Hogwarts Legacy, and the answer is no. I will be covering both games here at the channel. But it just so happens that The Division was pretty broken this week. There really wasn't anything for me to post about. That's why I kind of held back, but now that the game is back into it, you'll see more farming videos, build videos, and any more info we get on Season 11, I will bring it to you right away. Now, one of the things the game mentioned in their message yesterday was the fact that they were going to compensate all players for what was going on over the last week. We have no idea what that is going to be or when it is going to take place. I do not want to speculate whatsoever, but as always, once I have that info, I promise to pass it along. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Now, one thing I failed to mention at the beginning of the video, and most of you know this, but we do have giveaways here. Our current one is for a PlayStation 5. All you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced May 4th of this year. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. I want to thank you for your amazing continued support of this channel and remind you, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.